Welcome back to a new season of Rattler Take. I'm your host, Taylor Adams. We are in the middle of football season here at FAMU, and the team here at Rattler Take have been talking to the coaches and players. I spoke with Jeremy Musa about backlash coming from Rattler Nation. Also, history was made on the volleyball court last week, and we have a new leader for the women's basketball team. So don't go anywhere because Rattler Take starts right now.
Freak, are you kidding me?
We are kicking off this show with the FAMU women's volleyball team. In this past week, the volleyball team collected a total of 3 wins, losing only to the University of North Florida. The Rattlers had a very strong week as they are now 3-1 in the SWAC. The Rattlers' last matchup against the Jaguars resulted in a Rattlers 3-0 victory. This week, the volleyball team travels to Houston, Texas to take on the Southern Jaguars. Stay tuned as the Rattlers volleyball team takes on the Jaguars this Saturday, October 8th at 2 p.m. So Keith, how are your thoughts on this performance?
I'm loving the volleyball team's performance. We took a tough loss against North Florida, but other than that, our performance in the SWAC has been amazing. I find it impressive how our volleyball team has been able to come into the SWAC and win it every year since we've been in the SWAC. We're projected to win it again, so high hopes for our volleyball team this year.
I totally agree, Keith. A few players from the Rattlers volleyball team has had some historical accomplishments. Stay tuned to find out after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
FAMU's volleyball team made history after handing Jackson State its first loss of the season. During the match, 3 players broke an all-time record at FAMU. As of today, Brooke Hudson sits at 10th overall in digs. Brooklyn Watts recorded her 1,000th career kill, and Camila De La Rosa recorded her 1,000th career assist. We make history here on the Hill, all the time. And Keith, I know you have been following the volleyball team for a couple of years. What do you think of their latest accomplishments?
I think our accomplishments are really impressive. It just goes to show how dominant we've been in the SWAC since we entered it. We're projected to win the SWAC for a 3rd straight year again. We have the preseason SWAC Player of the Year in Brooklyn Watts, the preseason SWAC Libra of the Year in Brooke Hudson, and 4 preseason All-SWAC selections with Watts, Hudson, Emerald Jacobs, and Isis Williams. So I'm really excited to see where our volleyball team goes this year.
I totally agree, Keith. I've been going to the volleyball games last year and this year, and when I tell you they are so passionate and driven to play as a team and win together as a team, is an absolutely beautiful thing. I'm so excited to see where they go this year.
Volleyball games are a very underrated watch here on the Hill. More people should go to those.
I totally agree. Coming up after the break, it's a new Rattler leading the Lady Rattlers basketball. Don't go anywhere because Rattler Take will be right back.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a new face on the hill. With the 2023-2024 basketball season on the rise, FAMU is seeing a new ball on their court. The women's basketball team now has Coach Bridget Gordon calling all the shots. Coach Gordon has an extensive background in leadership and basketball. She started her coaching career at Stetson in 2004 as an assistant coach. She then served as a regional scout for the WNBA for a year. Joining us live in studio, we have our women's basketball reporter, Carrington. So what have you been seeing out there with this year's team, Carrington?
So yesterday I had the pleasure of actually sitting in on a practice, and I can see that Coach Gordon is very enthusiastic and a hands-on coach. She has great attributes to lead our Rattlers to victory.
I love it. So I know that her nickname is Coach Big Pressure. Do you think she's bringing pressure to the Hill and also to the other SWAC teams?
She's definitely bringing big pressure to the Hill. She's actually the 8th ever women's head coach in Florida A&M history. So just with all that, just women in leadership position, she's definitely ready to take some victory.
I love it. I can't wait to hear more. Last season, the women's team ended with a 6-23 overall. So Keith, how do you think this year's team will improve with Gordon's leadership?
Winners create winners. You need to establish a winning culture. You go and get a winning head coach. And that is what AD Sykes has done by hiring Coach Gordon. So I do believe we will see an improvement over last year. Hopefully one of our basketball teams can win more games than the football team this year.
I totally agree. I know that Coach Gordon she has pages of accomplishments. I know just to name a few, 4 Hall of Fames, 4 consecutive NCAA Final Four appearances, 2 NCAA national championships, and an Olympic gold medal. So I think Coach Big Pressure is going to bring a lot of pressure this year.
What I look forward to most this season, I don't like to talk about last year, is to be better than 6-24. Just to implement my culture, and my culture is a sisterhood way that the young ladies know that they're going to have someone to their left, to their right, that they can always depend on no matter what. I want to teach them how to be excellent in everything that they do. They already, I tell them, smart, gorgeous women, but I want that to be seen not only in the classroom, but on the basketball court as well. Just like I said, the culture. I'm changing the culture here. And I just want people to give me time, but I'm implementing a new culture as a sisterhood. Well, they need to know my pedigree, and I played for the best. She's deceased now, but I played for the best. And what she gave me was the love. She gave me tough love, and she gave me the necessary love that I needed at the time. She knew how to motivate each one of us, knowing that the love, the motivation need to come differently for every player. It's kind of like a mother. She don't treat all the siblings. They all don't need to be treated the same way. They're going to be treated fairly. So that's what I know about my 12, 13, 14 young ladies, that I got to treat them differently, but they always going to be treated fairly. And the other thing is just that the discipline part that might not been seen for a long time, that's why we call ourselves Pressure, and I'm Coach Big Pressure. I know we're up under pressure, and people are expecting great things because of my pedigree. But the most thing that I want you to be able to define us as a disciplined team, a hard-working team. We want to outwork and compete compete against our opponents. We want to also have fun. And with us being ranked preseason 10, we're going to play angry this year. We're going to play angry. The chemistry is great. Once they know that you love them and you care about them and you're willing to go above and beyond what the duty calls, they'll run through a gate for you. They'll run through a wall. They'll jump as high as the sky can go, which, you know, there's no limit. So there's no limit what they would do for me. And I just ask them to reciprocate. I come with a lot of energy, like you said, enthusiasm. And the most important part, I told them, money didn't bring me here. The love of the game, and to give them a role model that they can reach out and touch daily that I did not have growing up, that's who I am. I'm their mentor. I'm about empowering young people. And I want my young ladies to be empowered, not just on the basketball court, but in whatever they want to go in, and in life, I should say. And my speech in the locker room was, you're not going to go pro in basketball, everybody, but you can go pro in something. The basketball went flat for me, and I had my education and all my experiences to fall back on, and that's the same thing that I want to give them, but even more. All the experiences that I had for 22 years, and my experiences that I had overseas in a foreign country as a 22-year-old. I told them, you know, if I can just elaborate on that a little bit. I have 3 young ladies from Spain, and I can feel and I know what they need while they're here, because I was them at a young age of 22, even though they're 18. I was in Italy at 22, so I know what it looks like and what it feels like to be away from home. But yes, you can just look for excellence. You know, it's a culture, it's a life skill that I'm trying to teach my young ladies here so they can be successful women when they leave.
The Dark Cloud defense looks to win and improve after only allowing 7 points against Mississippi Valley State. See what's up with FAMU's defense coming up next on Rattler Take.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
FAMU's defense have been electric. They have kept 3 opponents under 10 points. Anthony Dunn leads the team with 7 QB hits, and Isaiah Major leads the team with 29 solo tackles this season so far. In their most recent win, they held Mississippi Valley under 100 yards on the ground and in the air, only allowing 151 yards total the whole game. Alan Smith recorded 1 fumble recovery. Anthony Dunn Jr. added 3 tackles and a sack, along with James Ash, who has a total of 6 tackles, 2 of which were tackles for a loss. The defense had 1 forced turnover and held Mississippi Valley to only 7 points in a 31-7 win. The Rattlers take on Southern University this Saturday, and the Jaguars average 17 points per game. So Keith, do you see the defense allowing more or less than 17 points tomorrow?
I do believe our defense has the talent to keep them under 17 points. The question is, can the offense keep them off the field? Can the offense stay on the field and be consistent enough to make sure that defense doesn't have to win the game, essentially? I know the offense has heard the criticism. We saw what Coach Simmons said about the criticism on Twitter. So hopefully they've taken heed to that. They've been improving, and we see a better outcome from our offense to up our great defense.
I totally agree. You know, there's been a lot of backlash on starting quarterback Jeremy Musa, so we'll have to see. Well, let's hope our Rattlers can keep this winning streak going. Coming up after the break, backlash about Jeremy Musa's performance. The second-year starter addresses the criticism coming from Rattler Nation after the break.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friend? It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji!
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
FAMU quarterback Jeremy Musa has had a ton of accomplishments so far this season. He is on the All-SWAC first team, Phil Steele preseason SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, Black College Football Hall of Fame Player of the Year watch list, named SWAC Offensive Player of the Week in the win versus West Florida, and leads the SWAC in yards at 1,244 and is tied in touchdowns with 10. Despite his winning record of 4-1, he has been getting a lot of backlash from critics about how the offenses have been playing recently. Comments about overthrown passes, drop passes, and the inconsistency of the offense has all fallen on Musa as the starting quarterback for the Rattlers. Here's what Jeremy had to say.
Yeah, you know, we've come off to a good start. I think it probably stems from just the high expectations that we have, you know, as a team, number one. We're worried about playing our best every single week. You know, at times the offense has been slow, so that's not what we want. You know, our standard is to be, you know, great all the time. We're chasing perfection every single day. So, you know, those claims they're something that we look at ourselves. You know, people are going to say what they want from the outside. You know, I know our fans are passionate and they want you know, excellence all the time. It's not going to happen, but we're trying our best to do it every single day.
So Keith, what do you think about Jeremy Musa playing this year?
I think Jeremy Musa is a great quarterback. But with that being said, he's not passing the eye test for fans. He's left a lot of us scratching our heads. A lot of decisions, sometimes throwing the pass into double, even triple coverage. I know all the offensive struggles are not on the quarterback, but as their leader, he is going to get a lot of that backlash. So I think overall the offense has a lot of work to do.
I totally agree. And head coach Willie Simmons, he made sure that he backed Musa up on social media. Head coach Willie Simmons went on the renamed Twitter X to back up Musa and said, "I'm not in the least bit concerned about what anyone says about Jeremy Musa. We embrace passion from the critics, but he's earned the right to lead us. And leaders must be allowed to work through their mistakes, and he will."
Honestly, I don't really see that. I don't really go stoop down to all that. People are going to say what they want to say. If they have something nice to say, I'll say thank you and move about my day. But if not, I don't really waste my time. It's not doing anything good for me. And if you get caught up in that, it can really take over and really cause you a lot of problems. So ultimately, what I care about most is, what my teammates think about me, if they respect me, if they think that I'm someone that can lead them to our goals this year.
Well, that concludes our show this week. We will continue to keep you updated on the latest and hottest things happening here on the Hill. As our Rattlers continue to strike, we hope to see you back here at Rattlers Takes next Friday. Have a blessed weekend and be safe.